Hi, welcome back to our podcast, Under the Quill. We're your hosts. I'm Bee
And I'm Stuart. As an avid Lorcana player,
and a Lorcana newbie.
we want to talk about all things Lorcana, from playing the game to exploring the lore and the latest updates.
So, before we get started, Stuart brought up this week an Easter egg regarding one of the cards.
Yeah, it's I can't remember the exact name of the card, but it's a Darkwing Duck card, and it's the art that's on the packs. Like before you open the pack, it's on the cover. And if you look closely at the Darkwing Duck, there's some things on his belt, some items that look vaguely familiar.
Which it's hard to explain over the podcast, so we will be making a TikTok video. So you can find our TikTok and our Instagram under the Quill, and that's where we'll put information like that where it's easier to see it visually. This week, what we are talking about is the 8 types of play personalities and how each of those personalities are represented in the game of Lorcana.
So if you didn't know, there's a National Institute of Play, and a bunch of different researchers have contributed to the website and the organization, and it's all in an effort to help adults remember how to play. Because as kids, it's easy, you use your imagination, you make friends real easy, but as adults, sometimes we can get out of touch with playing and that it's still important. So I remember reading about this a little while ago and thought to see how it relates to the game of Lorcana.
And
When
I have a question.
Sure.
So I've heard you call it the 8 types of play and play personalities. So is it more of these are the kinds of play you can do, or is it more like a love language thing where it's like this is more of who you are, like you lean more into one of these aspects than another?
I think the second one, it's more of a personality type. It's not like you have one personality of play and you don't enjoy the others. Typically, there's one that you lean towards. That's your go-to way to play, and then you have two or three other ones that you also enjoy.
Okay.
So when you think about the game of Lorcana, the first thing that comes to my mind is the competitive play. So building a deck and wanting it to be the best, wanting to go out and win all the tournaments, that's definitely a very big play personality in the game of Lorcana, is wanting to create the best decks and win.
Right, that's what I think of when you say types of play in Lorcana, that like you go and you build a deck to quest and win, right?
Yeah. And there's so many content creators for good reason because it's so exciting to watch and to watch the big tournaments. There's the Disney Lorcana challenges that happen that are 2,000 to 4,000 players and only one person comes out on top. And it's very exciting to watch. But that experience is as fun as it is. It's not going to be everyone's experience in the game because only one, and at the end of the day, only one person can win a tournament. So if competitive is your play personality, it's important to think about other ways that you're still having fun, even if you don't win. If you just want to do your best, if you have goals of winning a set championship or making the second day of a really big tournament, those kind of goals can help you still have fun and be competitive, even if maybe it just wasn't your day and you had bad draws or you brought a deck that wasn't very good into the room. There's still lots of ways to have fun and be competitive.
And there's lots of card shops that have more like fun nights, right? It's not all just tournaments. There are opportunities to play where there's very low stakes.
Yeah, I think that's something the community is really good about, is creating those game nights at your local game store where it's not just about having the best deck and having a deck that costs hundreds of dollars. It's about bringing a deck that you think is fun, having different themes of decks, different kinds of ways that you can still play the game.
Little tidbit. So we mentioned it on our last podcast, but we got into Lorcana because of Stuart's cousin Heidi, and she recently did a theme night at her game store. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so it was after they did their set championship, so like the big competitive thing of the season was over. And so my cousin convinced everyone to have a theme night instead. So they all picked a different movie and they built a deck around that movie and then brought the deck to the tournament, to not even a tournament, just the local game night, and played each other. And she said it was a ton of fun.
That sounds so fun.
So that's the go-to way to play Lorcana is to try and be competitive and win a game, because winning a game is fun at the end of the day. But there's so many more ways that you can play. The second play personality that I thought of when I thought of Lorcana was collecting. This is something I've seen. There's creators on YouTube and other social media where they just open packs and are just trying to find the cards that they love.
And when you say the second play personality you thought of, there's 8 set personalities, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
there's
but this is like the second most common you feel like fits in Lorcana.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's all about opening packs. There's some people that buy box after box and are hunting the most legendaries, the iconics, the enchanteds. They just want to build out that whole collection. And that's really fun to watch for sure.
And this reminds me a lot of my brother, who is very into Pokemon. He and his girlfriend go like they're at midnight drops. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Stuart knows better than I do, but they're at these events where they're dropping the cards, like, and they're the first ones to get them, but they don't play the game. So they are just collectors, and that I feel like it's really cool because that doesn't take away from the validity of your joy in the game. So like your joy of Pokemon or Lorcana or whatever, or Magic.
Yeah.
Um, it's cool to talk about it in this context of saying if you're a collector, it's not that you're any less, if you're not getting any less value out of the game because collecting is just another play personality. It is your way to express yourself in a very childlike, joyful way.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the points of this whole video is looking at maybe you're getting tired of getting going to competitive tournaments and not having the success that you want, or maybe you buy cards and you're tired of pulling card after card that's not the big hit. Like there's so many ways that you can still play and still have a really good time with this game. My last thought with collecting and opening packs is it's not just about the enchanted cards or searching for that iconic card. You know, you're going to open how many packs? Like 100, 200 packs before you find an iconic card. And you have to find a way to still find joy opening packs without, if like it's not like if you open a pack and don't get a really good card, that pack was a waste of time and you're not having fun. Like find other ways that you can open packs and enjoy the art on the packs. You can enjoy finding cards from a certain movie and hunting down those cards, or finding just enjoying the foil cards. Like there's so many different ways that you can collect and still have fun.
That makes me think of our boys whenever we open a pack. If there is any sort of shiny card, our youngest will take it and say, "This is part of my deck." He literally does not care about the color, the movie, the rarity. He's like, "It's fine.
It's shiny, it's in his deck.
It's shiny. It's in his deck."
Okay, so those are the first. I think those are the most common ways to play Lorcana, but there's still 6 other personalities that we thought of on how to play. So the number 3 one is an explorer. So this is someone who enjoys learning as a form of play, who enjoys looking for new things and even building new things, exploring those ideas. That's the way that they play.
And in my head, this is your play personality. And I don't know the rest of them. I'm learning with everybody else today. But knowing Stuart and seeing how he approaches the game, I feel like this is your favorite thing. Like this is what I see you do is researching the crap out of everything about this game and wanting to learn more about the lore and how it all matches together and what all the cards do. This person, like, he will mention a card and he's like, "Oh, this card that has this ability, it's a Wikipedia in his head."
I definitely, this is what I would say is my play personality. And especially this game, I think I have the numbers right, but I believe there's 2,030 cards that they've released in the game. That's not counting like reprints or the promo cards that are the exact same card. So there's over 2,000 cards in the game, and in the core constructed that are most tournaments right now, there's over 1,400 cards. So to me, that's just a treasure trove of different ways that you can build a deck and find all these Easter eggs.
And sorry, as someone new, core constructed, that just means the cards that you're allowed to play right now, right? The ones they haven't phased out.
Yeah, there's two of the main formats right now. There's Infinity, which means you can play any card that's ever been printed, and then the Core Constructed, which is the most recent cards. It's limited in how many in the cards that you can play, and that's what most tournaments are these days.
Okay.
One of the things I read on the website, every once in a while they'll release a little news story that talks about either things that they're developing or more of the story. And one of the recent news stories that they released was talking about the work that they put into the set and how they design the cards and how they balance the cards so that everyone can have a good time. But the game designers intentionally create deck building hooks. So they'll have cards that work together that they'll spread out between different sets, or they'll put it all in one set so it's exciting to discover. But there will be these cards that have really good synergies, and it can inspire you to say, hey, this card looks like it will be good. Hey, here's this card from a couple sets back that works really well with this card. What if I put the two of them together and create a whole deck around that synergy?
Is this information that they're releasing? Like, are you following a channel that explains this, or is this something that you're just looking at the cards and you're like, oh, they mentioned this 2 sets ago?
It's when people talk about building decks, this is like the bread and butter of, hey, I found this card. I really want to play around this card, or this is my favorite character and I want to build around this one card.
Do you have any favorite like channels for this kind of information?
I'm trying to think because the I think the most popular content creators are talking about the most competitive decks out there. Yeah, I don't know if there's a specific content creator that I would point out, but I know everyone dabbles in the putting cards together and creating a deck that has really good synergy.
Okay.
Okay. The fourth play personality I want to talk about is the storyteller. So this is someone who enjoys telling stories. It could be an actor, it could be a writer, but one of the things I love most about Lorcana is that they're telling the stories through the art and the words on the cards, which is such a unique form of storytelling that you have these hundreds of cards that weave the story together.
And that's consistent through all the sets, right? Like we've gone, it's not like this set is this specific story. It's like, okay, now they've done this, and then the next part of the story is this set.
Yeah, there's different arcs that all work together. So the first arc of the set, there was this mysterious seaweed that was being discovered everywhere. There was a couple different cards that pointed it out. And in the next set, it talked about releasing an Ursula Glimmer, and she's the one that had the seaweed that was infiltrating everywhere. So the third set, they had to leave the place where they were and go find the items and find where she was, what was going on. And then the fourth set happened where the Ursula Glimmer got really powerful and they had to battle her to defeat her. So there's just these interesting stories that weave through the art of the cards and like we mentioned last time, that at the bottom of the card there's usually some flavor text that's either a quote from the movie or it can come from lines that are unique to Lorcana. And that's where those really fun Easter eggs are, that you can learn more of the lore of the story.
And I know that that's the most interesting to me when Stuart does talk to me about Lorcana. I love the not just the overarching story that's very obviously out there, but Stuart will look for Easter eggs that try and hint at the next part of the story or connect it to things that aren't really noticeable first. And I feel like I'm more of that vibe, especially I'm a writer, so like this is my vibe. And it makes me think of that same cousin Heidi, her husband for her birthday had everyone make a Lorcana card, which I low-key misunderstood the assignment, embarrassing. But I ended up making Jane, who becomes an enchantress. Like she goes into the jungle, and the jungle's like the jungle embodied is like, we need your help to save the jungle, so we're going to give you these magical powers. And so that would like, if I could make a Lorcana card, that was so. I wrote a whole like story behind
Yeah,
it. Like
yeah.
if I could do that all the time, I feel like I don't know enough, but like that was the most fun I've ever had doing something Lorcana. Other than competitive would definitely be second, but other than the few times that I've crushed through it in a game was when I was able to make a story.
And I think that's the beauty of this game, is that they take Disney stories, which are already like from fairy tales, these beloved stories from all over the world, and they add that Disney magic. But then Lorcana comes in and says, you know, what if Mickey Mouse was a detective? What if Gaston thought he was really smart and was making this plan? What if? And it just goes on, and the possibilities are endless. I love it. And the last part of storytelling, just a little tidbit that I wanted to mention is casting a tournament. So these are people that will not play in the tournament, but the tournament will be streamed online and they'll be like commentators, which I discovered this a little while ago and I didn't realize how much fun it was to watch other people play and have commentators talk about the decks that they're building and how close they were to winning and the turnarounds and comebacks that people had. Like that's a form of storytelling that you see these players come in who may have driven really far to the tournament or who are new, who've been playing the game for a long time, and it's this whole story of the player going through and having these really interesting and exciting tournaments that are so fun to follow.
I think too, if you're talking about different play personalities and how they can be Lorcana centered, if someone was listening to this and felt like they identified with the storytelling part of it, I feel like one of the coolest things I've seen Stuart do with the storytelling is his theories of what's next. Like I feel like that taps in so well to being a storyteller and using your imagination and creativity is to say, hey, there's these Easter eggs. Here's what I think is coming next. I would love to see that aspect of the Lorcana community feel like they have a really good sounding board on our channel specifically,
Yeah, yeah.
especially because Stuart loves to talk about those things. So, like, for the storytellers out there who have fun theories or crazy ideas and want to share them, we would love to hear and love to talk about it. I know Stuart's on the Discord channels and Facebook and but yeah, that as a storyteller, I feel like that's a very important aspect of it and a very important aspect to be able to talk to other people about it and share your imagination.
Yeah, definitely. The official Disney Lorcana Discord is a great place to go to talk about. There's specific channels that are talking about the lore and the story, and they dive deeper than even I have gone before. Like it's really cool just seeing all the different people and the things that they hear from the developers and their different theories. It's really fun. And we wanted to create another space that can happen. So we have a Discord for our podcast. The link will be in the description on YouTube. And we just want to create this little community where we can talk about the lore, the story, the Easter eggs that we find, the
You can
decks that we're
find all you little
building.
storytellers out there.
Yeah. So that'll be very exciting. Okay, the fifth play personality that I want to talk about is the creator. So this is someone who enjoys creating, who enjoys creativity and building new things. And the first thing I thought of was the building decks, like coming up with unique deck building ideas and unique cards to put together. But there's so much more that you can do. You can be a content creator, which is what we're dabbling in now. You can do cosplay, which I know every big tournament has a little cosplay section where people can get together and take pictures and you go to this big tournament and you sit down to play across from someone else and your opponent is dressed as a character from the cards. Such a cool part of the community. And then other things I've seen that people create are different 3D printed tools. So like a deck box that's been 3D printed or a dice holder or a lore counter. There's people that make their own play mats or that take the play mats you can buy and put foiling on top so it looks even better. You can do your own fan art of Lorcana cards. Like there's so much that you can create from this game and have so much fun with it.
I know one thing that you made recently that we're trying to put up at the moment is the personality quiz. And I feel
Yes.
like that was a creative project. That wasn't rooted in any sort of competition or anything. That was just you wanting to create something.
Yeah, it was so much fun to take those 16 personalities and tie them to the different ink pairings and think of questions that would tie along to the personality that you would have if you had a amethyst amber deck, or any of those different 15 ink pairings. And that's what our next podcast episode is going to be about, is the ink personalities and what it would be like to step into the realm of Lorcana, what you would look like, all those different fun things. So we're excited to go into that episode next week. The last three play personalities I wanted to group together because they're a little bit harder to tie into this card game. The one that comes to mind first is the kinesthetic play personality. So moving your body is a way of playing, which admittedly, Lorcana as a card game, you sit down and play cards. The games can last a whole hour to play the 3 rounds. Like you're not moving your body a whole lot. But the one thing I thought of was using Lorcana and your love of Lorcana as a way to motivate yourself to move your body. That's one of the things that B pushed me to do, is to try and get into exercising a little bit more. And I used Lorcana as a reward system. I don't love exercise, but I love Lorcana, so that motivated me to get going. And I got packs and cards from packs from going out and walking every night. And that was, I think, the only thing that's motivated me to exercise in a little while.
I would like to add too, just because I think it's funny, is the risk portion of that story. Because what we did is we opened all the cards. I looked through them, showed him the best ones that were in there that he really wanted, and then shuffled them. So he didn't know where they were. And then the rule was if he exercised, he got 2 cards. If he didn't exercise, we'd cut them up. That being said, Stuart loves this game so much, he did not miss a day. We did not cut up a single card because he was determined not to lose any of them. So it wasn't just like, oh, reward. It was like, okay, risk and reward big enough that he was out exercising every day.
Yep, the only thing that got me going. um, all right, the last two play personalities were again, hard to relate to Lorcana, but there's the Joker, who loves to make people laugh and have fun with others. And that's one of the things I loved about this game, is it's gotten me out to my local game store where I could make friends and socialize. And I've seen groups of people that seem like such good friends because of this game, that they can get together all the time and have fun with the common interest. And that's definitely one of the lovely parts about the community, is how much fun and the joy that we can have together.
I feel like not that I have been in the community very much, so I don't have like a lot of, and I haven't been in other communities as much, but I feel like Lorcana has been so lovely, and like seeing it through your experience and seeing it through Heidi's experience and talking to people who've played like Magic. I feel like Dungeons and Dragons is similar with
Yeah.
Lorcana, but it's one of the games I've seen the most where people A are so lovely to each other and B want to make friends so badly. Like
Yeah.
the level of everybody wanting to show each other like people showing up and being like, here are my extra cards, or
Yeah.
let's be friends. The support that we received on this podcast because of Stuart wanting to be friends with other creators. Like it feels like a very friendly environment. And I feel like that goes right into this play personality, is that person that's like, I want to go, I want to make friends, I want to talk about this online, I want to just have a really fun time.
Yeah, definitely. It's and I've heard it all over the place, but I just love this community and the people and the friends that I'm able to start making. Like, I'm so grateful for this game and how it's gotten me out of my comfort zone and helped me meet people. All right, and the eighth play personality is called the director. So this is where you really enjoy organizing things. If it's organizing your collection, finding fun ways to store your cards or display your cards, display your playmats, and it's also you enjoy organizing people and organizing events. So I think about all the store owners that have created this environment and this space where people can come and play, and the store owners that go above and beyond and have theme nights or that do really cool prizing. That is a form of play that you can go and organize, create an environment for people to go have fun.
A shout out to that one group that has the really cool sticker, Okana Hype.
Yeah, the Lorcana Hive.
So that is a group, I think it's just a husband and wife,
I think so. Yeah,
who were
they
like, we want to organize casual Lorcana nights. And they totally did. Stuart went and they, like I said, they had stickers and stuff. Like it was just really supportive. But I feel like that couple is such a cool example of being an organizer. Like they organized a whole mini casual league night. And it's amazing that play not only uplifts the person doing it, but can so easily uplift the people around them as well. And I feel like that's what we saw was they were like, we're gonna put this together, and then it like brought people together. It was
Yeah.
so impressive.
Yeah. I think about the organizers of this game that have created a space for people to play a game about characters that they love, and it's enjoyable and uplifting, and I don't know, just everyone in the community who's worked together to create a place where we can come and play. I'd love it.
So that is the 8 play personalities. We'd love to hear in the comments is what you feel like is your play personality and how you've been able to express that through Lorcana. That is our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, next time we'll be talking about,
The ink personality test that we put together.
again, you can find us on Discord, Instagram, and TikTok. Our Instagram and TikTok are under the Quill for the podcast. On Discord, Stuart is on there as BR Quest. So,
Yep.
and it's all one word. The R is just an R. So BERQUEST. Thank you so much. We are excited to continue making content and making friends.
Yep. And happy questing.